So we finally have reached that time of year here at Whirlwind Family Farm when the really cold weather starts to come in. It's, of course, not as cold as climates further north from here, and you would probably laugh, those of you who live in zone 3 or 4, at how mild our winters are. But we do have to prep and get ready for that time of year here at Whirlwind Family Farm. And part of that is just looking at those forecasts, using kind of our own common sense. We have our little weather station, and sometimes we have to predict above and beyond what the forecast is because we are about 100 miles away from a large city, and sometimes our forecasts are just not that accurate. This is looking back about a year ago at a little snowstorm that came through, and it's always surprising to people to see here in Zone 8, Central Texas, where we do get that cold. You may remember back the stories about 3 years ago when we had that snow bomb, that winter snowmageddon that came through this area and really was below freezing in many areas in South Texas for over a week. A lot of pipes were burst, just did a lot of damage, and people just weren't prepared in this area for that cold weather. Now, this is our well house where our main water supply for our market garden is. And it's nothing complicated. Just my wife and I put together this little protective house a few years ago. And we put some insulation in there because if we do get a break here, not only are we looking at some big expense to get things fixed, we also have that downtime for our garden. This is another well, a very good system. The pressure tank was buried, the pressure switch is buried, so everything is nice. We just put some insulation, a contractor bag, and over it, and that really gets us through the winter on that well. So that's a great little system that we've got there. Now, as we move to the garden itself, there's precautions we have to take. That's a header line you're looking at attached to a couple of the drip lines. And one of the things that we make sure and do when those extreme cold nights come in, again, which are rare, we make sure that those lines are drained because if you get that expansion with the ice, it can break them. This is one of our filter systems. This is actually a canister that unscrews. There's a filter that goes in there that keeps sediment from going into our drip lines, which is very important with the drip system off of a well. And one of the things we found out the hard way is if a cold front comes in, you dip down way below freezing, those little canisters there can expand and freeze and cause lots of problems and break. This is a system my wife came up with. She took a cold shopping bag, those insulated shopping bags, puts it over our faucets, and you'd be surprised how well that does keep it insulated and works quite well. This is one of our outside faucets. That's a little cow feeder bucket that our neighbor gave us, and we take and put that over the top of an outside faucet with one of those insulated shopping bags, and it really does work, and we've never had a break. In 3 years we've used that system. It's kept it insulated. So little things you just got to look after: your sprayers, your hoses. So when you get that extreme weather that comes in, even here in Central Texas in Zone 8, it can be unexpected, but when I look back at these pictures, it just reminds you that even in this warmer climate, you can get those really extreme cold nights. And it's one of those things that it can catch you off guard and end up doing a lot of damage if you don't have that prep in place. So that's one of the things that we look into, especially January, February. Once we get into March, it's a lot less cold. Blessings over you, your family, your garden, and that winter prep. And we've got more videos, as you'll see here on the screen. Check them out from Whirlwind Family Farm. Talk to you soon.